And welcome into Real Deal Sports Talk with me, KP. Oh, what a day of football. I hope you guys have been able to watch the games that are going on today. A lot of excitement, no matter what game you really watched today. There was a lot going on. A lot going on yesterday in college football. We got coaches getting fired today. We're going to try and get it all in. We'll talk about as much of it as we can. I'm going to start with some things that just jumped off the page at me yesterday while I was watching games, all right? Biggest thing that jumped off the page yesterday to me, I'm watching the Michigan-Penn State game, okay? And we've talked about this kicker before that Penn State has. This guy runs 5'10", 5'11", 260, 270, okay? And he's a kicker. Loves to just run down the field and, clock people. Lay some wood for a kicker. Yesterday, he's running down. He's not that fast. I'm telling you, he's probably 10, 15 yards behind the rest of the coverage. But nobody picks him up. He's got a full head of steam at 270. Boom! Hits him with a clothesline. Knocks Michigan's return guy just flat. Just boom! Laid him out. It's something to see. I mean, go check out this kicker. He kind of hurt himself on the play a little bit. Banged up his shoulder. But it's something to see these kickers running downfield like this to cover kicks. And he's running down there with just reckless abandon. Like he's looking to hurt somebody, seriously. As he comes through and splits the defender. I mean, it's textbook. It looks just so pretty as he's coming down when you look at it from their angle there. And he's coming down. You got the blocker in front of him. I think it's Jabril Peppers who kind of steps out of the way there. And he goes right around him and just takes the return man out. Somebody else that got taken out yesterday, she's not going to, enjoy that this is going down in internet lore and sports lore for her. But we have this lady at the Auburn LSU game who it's on a kickoff, a ball's coming towards her. She looks like she's going to try and catch it, like the people do who on kickoffs or field goals or extra point tries, people catch the ball. However, in this instance, she kind of forgot and used her face. She then lays on the ground, I think more embarrassed than hurt. More not wanting to look at all the people who just saw her get hit in the face with the ball. You kind of feel bad for her. But, she was from Auburn. They pulled off the big win. I'm sure as much as this will be seen, it won't be remembered. So that is one thing that stood out to me yesterday. And the CU Buffaloes definitely stood out to me yesterday. Are you kidding me? Going into Oregon, opening up Pac-12 play, we saw they competed strong against Michigan until their quarterback got hurt. Then Michigan really just pulled away from them. Big win against Colorado State in week 1. And now here they are in Oregon. They go up there and they pull out another victory. Bryce Bobo makes the miraculous one-handed, one-footed touchdown catch to give them the lead. Oregon makes it all the way down with a chance to score and go ahead, obviously. And CU comes up with a big interception to end it. This made the coach cry. This made the players emotional. It's a big deal for them. It's a big thing for CU. It shows they're building in the right direction. They won yesterday with a true freshman quarterback who is making his first start. So all things are pointing up right now for CU fans and CU. Another team that all things are pointing up for, really, in my opinion, again, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid here, is the Michigan Wolverines. I don't know if they're necessarily national championship contenders for this season, but they're making progress. They're definitely going to be contenders, and they'll probably be contenders for as long as they have this regime in place, my opinion. But they did, with their win yesterday, they have surpassed Notre Dame with the highest winning percentage all time in college football. So that's pretty impressive. Good job, Wolverines. Anything else? Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of Notre Dame, they lost to Duke. Really? How are you going to lose to Duke? You're Notre Dame. Is this basketball? Did the basketball season start and I wasn't aware of it? I don't know. I mean, things got to change there at Notre Dame big time, and they did make one change we'll talk about here in a minute. But this story that kind of woke all of us up this morning as we waking up and getting into our sports news. Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez and lost his life in the boating accident there in Miami. Tragic loss. Good news, I guess, if you want to say there's good news, is doesn't seem like any alcohol or drugs played any part in it. It seems like it was more of a speed issue or something like that is but what's being reported at this point. Big loss. A lot of people emotional today. A lot of people hurting today. So send your prayers and your thoughts or however you handle that out to the family and loved ones there. And let's celebrate the good times. Let's celebrate what Jose was able to accomplish, who he was as a young 24, 25-year-old man, and the good things, right? So, sad moment there. Let's just get into some NFL stuff now. A lot of things going on today, some different stories, early games. You know, we had the Josh Norman-Odell Beckham matchup today. There's different reports coming out about Amir Abdullah in Detroit. Maybe he's coming back week 10. Maybe he's out the whole season. My guess is he's more so going to be out the whole season. I don't think he's coming back. But we'll have to see what happens there. It definitely saw his absence a little bit in today's game for sure. It was good to see all the tributes to Jose Fernandez today. Just going back to that for a moment, that's still a little bit on my mind. But yeah, let's get into some NFL stuff. A lot of little things happened today. Terrell Pryor, rushing yards, passing yards, receiving yards. He did a little bit of everything today. Cam Newton became the quarterback with the most rushing touchdowns in football history. Aaron Rodgers came up and lit the Lions up early in the first half, just kind of shutting up everybody who said he had lost it this week, and I was a little worried about that. Let's talk about the Lions and the Packers game a little bit. Everybody knows I'm a Lions fan. Packers did beat the Lions today 34-27 as the Lions put together a late rally to try and get back into that one, but it was a little too late for them to pull it out there. And this is a game, again, rules are going to have to be looked at. Here's another Lions game where it's like, what the hell is going on? If you guys didn't see the game, try and catch you'll see it, I'm sure, in highlights on SportsCenter, maybe even before tonight's game. But Randall Cobb is returning a kick, and he goes out of bounds, okay? The kick does not go out of bounds, does not go into the end zone, and with his feet out of bounds, he stretches out and touches the ball. Referee throws a flag. That's a penalty on the Lions for kicking it out of bounds. What? How is that on us? That is about the dumbest rule, and if that's really on the books, I'd like to know, how old is it, and why haven't they got rid of it yet? Why is it another rule where the Lions are getting screwed over by some mysterious BS? He goes out of bounds. He touches the ball then, and we get a flag for it. That's messed up. That is ridiculous. That is dumb. And, Aaron Rodgers came out and he lit us up. He took advantage of every unaware player we had today on defense. Our defense was pitiful in the first half. And I've talked about it on this show. I'll continue to talk about it on this show. Matthew Stafford is balling out right now. He is playing out of his mind good right now. And him and Jim Bob Cooter are on the same page as far as thing goes. We need Dwayne Washington to really step up now that he looks like he's going to get the number one running back role. We need Theo Reddick to do what he does and be that offsetting type guy who can do a little bit of everything but not be in the number one role, because that's not what he is. He's a slash player. He's an amazing slash player, and we need him to be that. We got to figure out a better way to get Tate involved. Tate needs to be more involved. He's too special not to have had more of an effect on today's game. Marvin Jones balled out of his mind today. Great 73-yard touchdown. Went over 200 yards, had a couple touchdowns. Ebron had, 48-something yards receiving today. But we just didn't get anything out of the defense until the second half. They only gave up the 3 points there in the second half and really just shut Rodgers and the Packers down, which was good to see. It gave the offense and Matthew Stafford, who's playing at an MVP level over about the last 11 games, regular season games, a great chance. And they did everything they could. He did everything he could to get the Lions back in a position to try and win. And then on that crucial third down conversion at the end of the game that the Packers needed to pick up to pretty much put us away, right in the middle of the screen, right in front of Rodgers where everybody can see it, what happens? The Packers offensive lineman bear hugs a Detroit Lions player. No flag is thrown. They convert it. They go on to win the game. Now, there's no guarantees that at that point we're going to do anything to score and tie the game up. It shouldn't have come down to that with the way we played on defense. And you can't single out any one play ever to say this is the reason we lost the game. But when so many things add up in a game like that, when you have a player who his actions get you a flag, when you have a bogus holding call that could change things up, when your defense played miserable for an entire half and then held the Packers to 3 points in the second half, that frustration and this and this and this, it does add up to one giant thing. And that giant thing is the Lions got to figure out how to win games. We can't continue to be that team that everybody goes, well, yeah, but it's the Lions. Packers played good today. They were missing players. Lions were missing players. It was a good game. I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch it for sure. It's remarkable, some of these calls that just make no sense that go against the Lions. Let's get into the local game here with the Broncos today. Broncos, hey, you guys balled out. You went into Cincinnati. Trevor Siemian really showed that he deserves to be the Broncos starter and shut up some of his critics today for sure. Going over 300 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Everybody wanted to bark and complain about what the receivers said to a question they were asked. They didn't seek out the media and start complaining about anything. I had no problem with either one of their comments. The people who did, I think you read too much into what those comments meant. You put meaning to their words instead of listening to their words. And you saw the offense take off a little bit. You saw the play callers and Kubiak and Dennison and the offense put a little more trust into their quarterback this week. You saw them take more chances downfield. You saw the 40-plus yard touchdown to Emmanuel Sanders. You saw the 50-yard-plus touchdown to Demaryius Thomas. They both had 100-yard games. So you saw the offense really step up today. The defense had another solid outing. They won the special teams. It was a good game for the Broncos. They now are 3-0. They're still in the lead in the division with, their game up on pretty much everybody else. We'll have to see how the San Diego Colts game finishes up here. I think it's almost done. But Kansas City, they pulled out a victory today. Oakland pulled out a victory today. So the AFC West, it's going to be a strong division, and the Broncos are now showing on offense that they might just have enough to do that. The Giants lost a close one today. All 3 of their games so far this season have been within a score. If you guys didn't see it, Odell Beckham, he's running a route in the end zone, goes up to try and catch the pass. Josh Norman basically picks him up, carries him through the end zone, and drops him in front of the ref. It looked like this was going to be a rough one for him today, but it turned out to be okay. And we'll get to that game here in a minute, too. Big story that came out today as far as college firings, LSU firing Les Miles. He had a great record while he was there over the last 12 years, only lost 34 games while he was there.